A new Xbox Duke controller is coming out, and Sean Layden says it will cost $200 million to create PlayStation 5 games. So if you guys remember back with the OG Xbox, it originally launched with the Duke controller, which was just a massive Xbox controller, exactly like you see in the picture here. And it was actually a really great controller for somebody who had bigger hands. And I thought a lot of people actually thought it was comfortable, but in general, I think most people didn't like it, I guess, because they quickly changed over to the S-type controller for the original Xbox, which is a lot more resemblance to the current Xbox controller we have in terms of its shape and size and everything. And then a few years ago, Hyperkin actually re-released the Duke, which I actually have it here. It is a controller with USB that you can plug into your PC, plug it into your Xbox, and it works. And it's really cool because this middle part here, which wasn't actually a button on the original Duke controller, you click it down and it shows the original Xbox startup graphics. So it's awesome, and I love the shape of it. I use it all the time, to be completely honest. It's actually still such a great controller for my hands, at least. Well, it looks like the controller sold well enough and a lot of people wanted it and enough people bought it that they're going to be making an Xbox 20th anniversary edition of this controller here. Now, what the big difference is between this controller and the other one really is just going to be the coloring. Like the D-pad here on the black one is going to be the green, where on mine here it's black, as well as it will have the 20th anniversary logo on the controller itself, and it's going to have the share button. And I think that's actually a pretty good addition in general, because I don't know about you, but I didn't think the share button on my Xbox Series controller was going to be a big deal, but I do use it all the time. It's just easier, slightly easier, you could say, than hitting the Xbox button, than hitting X or Y, depending if you want to capture a video or capture a screenshot. Another difference will be that there is the detachable Type-C cable instead of just the standard USB, which is with this other one here. Now, for me, it's going to be hard for me not to get this one as well, because like I said, I love the Duke controller, and I couldn't find it anywhere when I purchased this one, but I randomly walked into just like a mom and pop game store and they actually had it on sale, and I picked it up, and I was very, very happy to have picked it up because for my hands, it just feels great. I love how big it is. My hands never cramp or anything like that. Not that they cramp or hurt with the Series controller, but it's just this one just brings back so many memories and feels great. So Sean Layden has weighed in once again on PlayStation and them making games, saying that he thinks it's going to cost Sony for PlayStation 5 games $200 million to make. Now, Sean Layden, if you don't know, he is the former PlayStation boss, and he did a lot of great things at PlayStation, especially during that PlayStation 4 era, and he has moved on where Jim Ryan is the boss now. Now, when he was the boss of PlayStation, he said that PS4 games actually hit $100 million, and then every single generation going forward, it's going to increase from there. So the $200 million prediction would seem to make sense from his point of view. And because of this increasing price of video games, he's saying that companies are going to get rid of the risk in order to make back that money by just doubling down on sequels and all that kind of stuff. And this kind of goes back to the strategy we had heard previously from PlayStation when people were talking about the fact that there was going to be a sequel to Days Gone, or the Days Gone developers wanted to create a different game, but they were told that they had to make a remake or a remaster of The Last of Us instead. And this would really explain why Sony would be leading in that direction, just in the sense that if it costs a lot more to make games, you're going to want to guarantee you make that money back. And if you put out a known title, a known entity to your consumer base, the chances that people are going to go run out and buy that game right away without even thinking will be a lot higher. And because of this, as he says here, what happens there is you end up with the 3 to 4 silos of games or game types that continue to exist, and a variety is squeezed out. And yeah, that, like I said, makes a lot of sense, and I think that's what we will see from PlayStation and from Sony this generation. I will be very interested to see just what happens going forward with a game like Returnal, maybe new IPs that they put out. If they don't do as well as they wanted to do, are they going to take those teams and have them try to double down on current IPs at PlayStation, ones that are already popular that they know they are going to sell, or are they going to continue to allow them to make new unique styles of games? And on top of lacking, I guess, the creativity and having a silo of just a few styles of games that you know are going to sell well, game prices are going to increase. I mean, we've already seen this with PlayStation 5 games, how they are now a standard $70 US dollars, compared to last generation, which they were $60 in Canada. Now they're a standard $90 instead of $80, which is absolutely crazy. But they need to be able to make sure that they get all of their money back when they put the amount of money they are putting into creating the PlayStation 5 exclusives. And it's another reason pointing to the Xbox ecosystem, why I think it is so great with Xbox Game Pass and all that kind of stuff, is that you don't have to worry about this nearly as much with that subscription service. You can give companies, developers, the leeway to be creative on what they want to make, knowing that if it doesn't sell as well as you expect it to sell, you're still going to be making money off of the subscription services, and you don't need to worry about making monies off of each unit sale of that game nearly as much. And I mean, we saw this just recently with Psychonauts 2. Now, I know Psychonauts 2 is an Xbox Game Studio game, and it was already in development before Xbox purchased them, but Xbox definitely had to put in a decent amount of money in order to get that game to where it is. And that game was one of the most creative games I've ever played. I even tweeted about it just after I finished it, I think yesterday, last night. And I said that it's not only the best game that I've played this year, it's potentially one of the best games that I've ever played, because it's just amazing graphics, characters, story, creativity, and everything. It's just so different, and the story and the environment just keeps you sucked in throughout the entire game, because you don't know what's going to happen next, and you don't know what next crazy thing is going to pop up on the screen. And it's such an awesome game. If you haven't played Psychonauts 2, definitely go check it out. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Hyperkin releasing a 20th anniversary edition of the Duke controller, and what do you think about Sean Layden saying that's going to cost $200 million to create PlayStation 5 games? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you're new here and you like what you see throughout this video. I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow and help grow this community, so we can have great conversations in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.